All right, we're gonna get started. Just let me know if you guys can hear us okay. Can you just watch the chat? If you have any questions, just put them in the chat or anything. And also, I'm gonna need you to somehow control the PowerPoint. Oh, share.
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna do.
Oh, you're not? Wait, why don't you just, it doesn't work?
It's fine. Josephine already had it up on their computer, so just control when I control it.
Okay. Can you hear? Good.
It's kind of weird, but okay.
Well, hi everyone, welcome. Thanks for coming. This is our pre-dental timeline.
Yeah. So we just want to preface that I feel like when I was a freshman and sophomore and probably junior, I was always freaked out about these things because I just was like, oh my God, if I don't follow every single one of these steps, that I'm not going to get everything in check. And I just wanted to preface that it's not something that's set in stone. Everybody has a different path towards getting there. This is just a way to help keep everybody on track for applications and for Hpec and for things like that. So just remember to take a breath, because I know a lot of this, it's long and tiring and it's very stressful. So just wanted to preface that. So my dad actually showed me this right after I took my DAT because I was freaking out about dental school. And I think it's a great chart. So it's kind of just the whole point is what it says. Your expectation, you expect everybody is this clear cut path. Like I'm going to do these steps, these steps, these steps and make it to my end goal, when in reality, it looks a lot more like that. Everybody has their own path to get there and you end up getting to the same destination, just different ways. So just something to keep in mind. So obviously this doesn't really apply because we're all in college, but kind of just starting out before college, these are some of the things that if you want to go into dentistry at an early age, these are maybe some of the things that you would have started to look at, or some of the things that you would start to get together before college. I know Kayla, you can talk about the Rutgers Pipeline program.
Yeah. There's this program at Rutgers. I don't know if anyone lives in Jersey, but I did this high school program. I mean, doesn't matter now, but they also have a college program that I also did. And it was really informative. And we got to go in the clinic and do a lot of hands-on activities and sit in on lectures that we would have as a D1 dental student. So it was really great. And I think Lauren did one too, right?
I did one my summer freshman year at Stony Brook. If anyone's from New York, it was a great opportunity. I know they didn't do it the past years because of COVID, but they might be bringing it back. It was 10 out of 10, amazing experience. So yeah, that one's not offered during high school, but you could apply probably now for college. Yeah, it's amazing.
I know Temple also does one. I'm pretty sure you can do it starting in high school and do it now. But these
does too.
Yeah, these are just great programs. Obviously we're all in college now, like I said, but you can even do these programs during college. So they're always good opportunities to look into, especially if you know what school you would potentially want to go to. That's a great way to get your face seen by admissions and get your name in
I
there.
got to do a mock interview with the admissions person who I would be interviewing if they interviewed me. So it was a good way to get my name out there, my face.
So here's your freshman year general timeline. Again, kind of start by choosing a major. I mean, I came in as a bio major and ended up switching my major. So it's very okay to do that. You really don't have to be a science major to get into dental school. But, you just want to make sure you get all those prereqs in. Begin taking the classes, bio, chem, calculus, English, all those basic gen ed classes out of the way because they're prerequisites for dental school. Start making connections with your professors. I know that it seems early, but honestly, when it comes down to it, you start making connections early with your professors. They're always good to have for a letter of rec. Join pre-dental society, it's a given. Look into community service. Attend your college career fair. I know that this is something that so many people, I feel like professors harp on and everything, but I think it's actually really important. The school has a lot of great services available to the students that I don't think enough students take advantage of. I know that some admissions directors used to go to our career fairs. Obviously they haven't anymore because of COVID, but that's also a great way to get your name in front of their face early on. And meet other pre-dental students. I didn't personally know a lot of pre-dental students coming in my freshman year, and I think that was very stressful on my part. But meeting pre-dental students, I mean, you're all going through the same process. So sophomore year is organic chemistry. Everyone loves orgo. That's pretty much the basic prereq that you need. Sophomore year, it's really important that by the end of your sophomore year, you set up your Hpec file. If you haven't opened your Hpec file by the end of your sophomore year, that will be a problem. So make sure that you open up your Hpec file before end of sophomore year. It's also a good time to start planning when you want to take the DAT, whether it's over the summer, junior year, winter break. Just start thinking about those things because it comes up way sooner than you would think it would. Start shadowing. If you want to be a dental assistant, that's another great way to get shadowing hours, whether it's over the summer or again during winter break. So winter break is so long, you might as well make use of the time. Volunteer, get your volunteer hours. Start thinking about and signing up for e-board positions, which is great. The longer you hold an e-board position, the better. It's good to start early. I know that a lot of e-boards don't really give positions to sophomores. It's mostly juniors and seniors, but I mean, it doesn't hurt to try. At least be active and involved in the club you participate in, and start to build your resume.
With keyboard positions, I'm not sure what year you guys are, but like kind of a strategy I used was as a freshman, like I went to like the involvement fair, and then I kind of picked one club and I kind of swam with that, and then ended up getting a smaller e-board position and just building on that. Like I'm the president now, so like if you start early, even if you're just a member, like you can easily like move your way up. Just keep showing interest.
Same thing with Alec. He was on the e-board last year and he's on it again this year.
Yeah.
So,
And things like HPEC too, it's definitely better to start it early. You can request letters of rec and stuff like that early, which is like really, really big for your application. I know everyone tends to start their HPEC file late and ask for letters of rec late. And that is like the biggest do not do.
I do it.
Yeah,
It was very
because
stressful.
Then you have to email your professors like 20 times to get their letters of rec in, and it's super, super stressful. And I emailed my professors really early for HPEC, and they still took forever, and it was still like really stressful. So
they do
just
take forever. They
make sure
will
to be on
take till the
top of it.
last minute.
Yeah,
I
they
won
will.
up the day up. So I literally was like, are you doing this or not? So I had to find like a backup professor the week before, but then I just had an extra because she finally submitted the day up. So just be wary of that.
Yeah. So this is Hpec. They're in Pearson's Hall next to the ice lab. Here's a link to what their website kind of looks like. Kind of gives you all the information you need to know, forms to fill out. You can email them with any questions you have, stuff like that.
Here's the volunteer verification form, shadowing form. You just click it. Release form, letters of recommendation. It has everything right here. Beautiful.
So your junior year, it's a tough year, but you want to have pretty much all of your prereqs done by the end of your second semester. This way you'll also have a fun and kind of relaxing senior year if you get it all done in time. Physics 2, a second English class. You have to double check and make sure that your second English class, some schools will accept. Some of them require writing intensive course, which if you're a bio major, that's great. You already take that, which is in your major already. But for us, we're nutrition and medical sciences, and that wasn't in our major. However, I took a second English class and it counted for all my schools.
Yeah.
So
Usually if it's like has the English ENGL like code, it's usually okay. Like I know a lot of people take even the Harry Potter English.
Yeah, that's what I took. And if you're in honors, I don't know if anyone is, but the colloquium doesn't count as English. So I had to like take a third English class basically. You just need like the ENGL designation. Which
Yeah.
is annoying.
yeah,
But
So
that's
keep
something
that
to
in
keep
mind.
in mind.
It's pretty much like any English is fine, just like with the code.
and it'll be
Yeah.
which is
Exactly.
always helpful.
Some other classes to consider taking. I know that a few dental schools require biochemistry. and physiology is mostly in, you have to take as a bio major, same with cell biology. I'm not sure about anatomy and stuff like that, just like some upper level bio courses like that. Anatomy, I mean, it can only help you. You're gonna have to do anatomy in dental school anyway. Might as well get a little bit under your belt. So that transition to dental school will be a little bit easier if you know some of the basic information. So yeah, just think about classes like that. I know nobody wants to take extra bio courses if you don't have to, but it might benefit you, and it will look good to dental schools that you're actively taking these classes, knowing that you're gonna need them for dental school anyway.
Yeah, and you can check on the school's website if you have like an idea of what kind of school you want to go to or where you want to be. You can start looking at the individual schools and just go on their dental website, and they list all the courses they need. So for example, I was looking at schools in like California, and they require like psychology credits, but I didn't take any psych classes. So you can't really like apply to schools if you don't meet all the requirements. So that's just if you have an idea of the
Yeah.
schools you want to go to. I know junior year is a little bit early for that, but it's a good time to start thinking about it.
There's actually this book that, what's it called? Is it the ADEA book?
I wouldn't mind too.
Okay, is this it?
I think so, yeah.
So this book right here, they put it out every year, and it has every single dental school in it. Has a lot of stats on each dental school, so you know GPA requirements, how many, if they're in-state or out-of-state friendly, if they have supplemental applications, you know, when their deadlines are. Pretty much any information you need to know about the school, it has in there, which is great. I think it's a great resource, and you know, if you get it now, I highly doubt it's going to change too much from the time you apply, but it's just good to, you know, like, oh, I didn't realize this state had a dental school, or I didn't realize this was a dental school, and stuff like that. Read their stats, kind of like start to get a list together of what schools you're thinking you would like to apply to. I think it's a really good resource to look into and get. I mean, I don't think it's that expensive. It is maybe like $40.
Yeah, and the Explorer is like the online form of that, and I split my membership with someone, so it ended up being like $10 each. So
That's
that's
what I
that's
was
a good
gonna say
idea
that. If
too,
you wanted
yeah.
to split it with somebody, that's great too. I mean, I like to have a physical copy, and then the schools that I wanted to, I would just put like a little tab on them, so it was way easier for me to just flip through them and find them. But yeah, I would highly recommend that. It's a great resource.
What book is this?
The
I missed the title.
right here.
Just go on their website or something, maybe.
It's just a PowerPoint showing.
Oh, I was literally showing you guys and it didn't even come. Wait, hold on.
Share screen.
Share. Here we go.
You can go right on the ADEA website. Just type in ADEA Official Guide to Dental School book, and it should come up.
But it's right there. ADA official guide. Oh my gosh. Why is it not coming up? You just
Got it.
here we go. Official guide to dental schools. Right here.
So like this is already like we don't have that version, do we? I think I have the
No.
I have the 2020, 2021. So they already put out the new version for this year. But like I said, if you get it now when you're a freshman or a sophomore,
It's the same thing.
it's
Yeah.
not gonna change that much.
But yeah, it's
the
very
point.
helpful.
Yeah.
Now, stop.
How much is that book?
I think it's about $30.
And I think it's like 40.
I don't remember. They might like increase
If
it.
you're looking for into getting an ASDA membership, you can get them for free as
Oh,
But
Josephine said if you're looking into getting an ASDA membership, you can get the book for free if that's something you want to. How do I do-
As the membership.
That's like the American Student Dental Association, and it's pretty much just like an association that like helps with like pre-dental students and like just
You like pay
Dental.
a fee, and then you get like a lot of dental services that are I personally don't have one. Josephine, you have one, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Can you just talk to them about it?
Yeah, sure. It's like, honestly, I haven't done much with it, but you can get connected to other pre-dental students and see what's going on in the nation. Sometimes they have webinars and stuff on dental related topics such as diversity or I can't even think of any because I haven't used them that much. But they have like monthly magazines that they digitally send. If you're looking to get on the board for that, I'm sure that look amazing.
Yeah.
One of the pre-dents at UD, actually, Lauren Hoekstrom, she's part of ASDA's pre-dental committee. And she does a lot of like cool stuff with that. And like you can imagine that looks really good. So but you also don't have to be in ASDA necessarily to like just reap some of the benefits. Like they have Instagrams that you can follow, and I think this is actually pre-dental month, so I'll send it out in the group me, but I think it's like ASDA District 13 or something on Instagram. You can check it out. It's something like that.
Yeah,
But
District 13 is us, right?
Well, no, 3 is like
Where's it?
Pennsylvania.
Three,
area,
okay, that's what I
2
meant.
is, like, New York.
ASDA District 3. Look up something like that on Instagram if you're interested. But I mean, I have the book as well. I wouldn't mind like bringing it to a meeting one time and you guys just take a look at it before you buy it yourself. So
That's true. It's a good idea.
um,
I can bring mine also, so we can pass the two
options.
around. But yeah, it's not something
Wait.
that you have to get a membership for.
I don't know how to present this.
What do you mean? You just,
Maybe just make it bigger.
Ah,
Do they see it?
do you guys see it?
The presentation?
We see the 4 with the junior year.
Okay,
okay.
good.
So
So,
junior year is kind of a lot. You know, you also want to apply it to Hpec by the end of your junior year, 3 letters of rec, 2 science, 1 non-science. So I know it seems like you'll be fine with your sciences, especially if you're a science major. I personally found it difficult to get some sciences just because there's so many people in your class. I feel like it's very difficult for you to get to know your professor sometimes well enough. I know, especially with COVID, I feel like that's half the reason. But, you know, just really make it a point to try to get to know your professors because you'll be better off in the long run. Start asking dentists you shadowed to write you letters of rec. Finish up your volunteer and shadowing hours. Leadership positions are obviously great, whether it's being a TA or e-board positions. Write your personal statement and finish up your resume.
Yeah, some of these things, it's like probably a good idea to keep on top of throughout freshman, sophomore year too. Like the resume, I think I wrote mine freshman year and then just continually updated it as I went, which is probably the best thing to do. Yeah, and like volunteer hours and shadowing. I think we said last meeting too, it's a really good idea to keep up with counting all those hours because it's really hard to get in touch with all these places. You have to have signatures and sign-offs before you can submit that to Hpec. And I think the minimum is 50 for both shadowing and volunteer hours for Hpec, but obviously you want to have a little bit more than that. And forming connections with your professors and the dentist you shadow is also really important to do before junior year as well. So you can get really solid letters of rec for Hpec.
So actually, for recommendations, what kind of information, if you can talk briefly on it, like do you ask or do you provide them before they write it for you? Because I think I made a mistake freshman year or sophomore year even, asking for a rec, but like, do you give them your resume as well and stuff? Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I
I just offered it. I was like, if you want to like speak up my personal experiences, I'll attach my resume to this message.
Yeah. At the end of the email that I wrote to like ask them, or like if you ask it in person, like I always just attach it anyway, even if they don't ask for it, and just say like, I've already attached this, like please see attached if you want to learn more about what I do outside of the classroom or something like that. But yeah, I always provided my resume and personal statement. And sometimes like I think a really important thing on my application was doing MedLife mission trips. So, and I know that a lot of people don't know what that is. So I actually gave like a little blurb and like a couple pictures on MedLife to my professors. So they're like, oh, that's so cool. So like I think that's another thing that I did that was a little extra. Tell them what Dr. DeVito, didn't she make you fill out
oh yeah,
something?
some professors have like this like form to fill out. I had I asked Dr. DeVito, I don't know if any of you guys have had her, but she made me fill out this like 3-page form about like
Yeah, she did. I remember her filling it out and I was like, I didn't have to do that.
Yeah, so I mean, it was very like, not like hard or anything, but it was just like, just like why do you want to go to dental school and stuff like that? Not too.
Yeah, Trimby made me send him my personal statement.
Really?
Yeah, or like a blurb about why I want to be a dentist. I was like, well, I
Yeah.
guess I'm gonna start my personal statement today. So I did. I was like, okay, well, here you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I asked Professor Alenka for a letter of rec, and she sent like a Google form, just like with like
Oh.
the classes I took with her and like what I thought about the classes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's like a lot of the times the professors will ask for what they need. Like I know most of them asked if I had a resume that they could use, and one of them asked for a CV,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I never wrote a CV, so I kind of just told her no.
Yeah.
And it was
It's-
fine. She still wrote
It's
it.
funny that he said that because Kayla and I are actually, and Lauren are in a senior seminar class. And we were just talking about cover letters versus resume. And for dental school, you really don't need a CV. So I'm surprised she asked for that, but maybe she didn't realize that you don't really need that for dental school. So don't stress too much if you don't have a CV. Definitely have a resume and a personal statement. But yeah, so some professors ask for certain things like that. Most of the time, your resume and even sending them your personal statement is good.
Yeah.
Anything to really allow them to get to know you on an out of school level.
To know that you actually like, are involved in dentistry related things or volunteer and you're not just, a good student. You're more than that.
And they're used to writing, so anything like specific to you that they can include is great.
Yeah.
Exactly. So junior year, you want to most likely take the DAT if you'll be applying. Really research the schools you want to apply to, whether it's the size, the location of the school, the student body, the curriculum. It was really funny because I was dead set on going to a specific dental school until my mom suggested that I go check out the location of it, because it's not just the school that you're going to be dedicating 4 years of your life to, it's the environment, it's the location around it. You have to be comfortable where you're going to be living. And as a 5-foot girl, I was not comfortable walking around. Basically, you had to step foot outside the dental school and hop on the subway, and if not, you would probably end up dead on the road. So just keep that in mind. Location and environment around the school should be a big thing to consider. So yeah, just keep that in mind. And I think the ADA book kind of does a good job, but do your own research as well.
And also, by the time you guys go for your interviews, you'll probably get to actually go to the school now. We're doing a lot of our interviews online, so that's going to be really good. Even if you, done a lot of research, but you don't have the chance to actually see the school, you'll actually learn a lot about it just by being there and not just researching online.
Yeah, it's a good point.
So,
but yeah, if you have the chance and the school's close to you, why not just do a little drive by? It's always never a bad idea, just check out the location around the school. That's all. Yeah, fill out your application. It opens June. Well, the application opens in May, and the first day you can submit it is June 1st. But again,
it opens about like 2 weeks before June 1st
don't
to start filling it out so you can press the submit button on June 1st.
But don't stress out if you don't have it in literally
Yeah.
May 31st at 11:59.
I think we all submitted after.
Yes.
Much.
I
I submitted
submitted
much
August.
after.
I submitted
August.
mine in July.
Yeah, I submitted mine like June 30th.
Yeah.
No, not even July. What am I saying?
Yeah, everyone says be ready to submit June 1st, send it in as soon as you can. And you do want to have it in early, but it's definitely more important to be confident about your application. Make sure it's well written, make sure you have everything in there. It is a very stressful application. So just make sure you have everything that you need for the application before you submit it. Don't rush yourself to get it in early.
Yeah.
If you're not confident in it, don't submit it. You want to be confident in what you're showing with dental schools.
Yeah, and I think you want to have your application submitted by, I guess, now-ish, October is the latest you want to submit.
Yeah.
It's rolling, so you can submit it technically as late as you want, I think, for most schools at least. But definitely try to get it in before the semester starts.
Yes.
So
here's another good book that I would recommend getting. This kind of has a little bit of everything. It is great to get with any year you are. It has how to build your resume, how to write your personal statement. It gives you examples of other people's
It
personal
gives you about
statements.
30 examples about other people's personal statements, a lot.
Yeah, it gives you a lot of information. It tells you, like interview prep and how do you know if a school is right for you, and
So many things.
just a lot. So I highly recommend this book. Kayla has this book as well. The earlier you get it,
You can get it
the
on
better.
Amazon. That's where I got it.
That's where I got it too. It's on Amazon. I don't remember how much it was, but it wasn't expensive and it's worth every penny. So
It also has like a little like path to like as we're doing right now. Like it has a little path of dental school for themselves.
it has a lot of really good information in it. It also gives you like other like little tips and tricks. So it's a good one to get. So as for like your personal statement, I wanted to talk kind of like about the writing center at UD. So obviously everyone knows UD has a writing center, whether it's for, individual group tutoring, workshops, stuff like that. They have drop-in office hours on Sunday on Zoom, which is new this year. So that's great that you can just drop in, or you can always make an appointment. But I think this is great. I think when you're writing your personal statement for dental school, it's extremely important that you have other people read it. Whether it's your parents or stuff like that, like this is such a big key component to letting the dental schools know what distinguishes you from everybody else. And you want to make sure it's perfect. So use the resources at school. They're available to you. They're free. Why not have them read it? So yeah, that's kind of why I included this in here.
Also, Hpec they say that if you want to send your personal statement before actually submitting your file, you can. So I sent mine to them and they reviewed it for me. The feedback wasn't a lot, but still they'll review because they're actually reviewing it. If you're good for dental school, so having them actually check it out beforehand was a good opportunity.
So here's just what the website looks like. And career services. So I don't know if you know, they're located right next to Perkins on Academy Street. They're great for jobs, getting internships. I know that a lot of people are having trouble right now getting shadowing hours because of COVID, and a lot of people aren't, you call and they're like, oh, we're not accepting people for shadowing right now. And it's really frustrating because you're like, where do I even start if I can't even get any shadowing hours? So career services is a great option. There's UD Can, which has an abundance of alumni. You can also meet with people at career services, say hey, can't get shadowing hours. Is there anybody you can reach out to and help me? Maybe a UD alumni lives right down the road and they can get you in touch with that. That was the purpose of me putting this up here. You can make appointments virtual, anything you want. They also do resumes. So you can actually either upload your resume to them, they'll review it for you, they'll give you feedback on it, or there's this website that's on their website. It's called Resume Worded and stuff like that. You can upload your resume and it's generated and it will give you feedback. So it's another great thing to check out. So senior year, you finally made it. You want to finish up taking prereqs and additional advanced science courses, some of the ones that I went over already, like anatomy, biochemistry, etc. Start preparing for your interviews because you will never know when you're going to receive an email for an interview. And the worst thing you want to do is procrastinate and not prepare for it. So definitely start preparing. You can even start preparing in the summer, just have your parents ask you questions, and at the dinner table, you can just give them answers, kind of get a general idea in your mind of how you would answer certain questions. You can even write them down. Just make sure that, you don't have them so memorized that they sound like you have them memorized. You know what I mean? You don't want the responses to be canned or anything. So just be natural, but kind of just talk out what you would say if they were to ask you certain questions. Take some fun classes. Kayla and I are taking a cooking class right now. So is
I'm
Alex.
taking cooking is a very fun class. It's you get to finally enjoy a class for once. It's not just a stupid bio class or something where you have to memorize something. You just show up and you make food, and it's so fun.
It's so fun.
Kayla.
Bihan 120 or what? Behind 120 or 130, I can't remember.
A lot of the BHAN.
BHAN, yeah.
Behavior,
BHAN
health,
one,
and
some,
nutrition.
There's a bunch of them, like in that department.
Yeah,
Yeah,
some of
there's-
them are like cook it healthy, some
Yeah,
of them like,
Cook around the world.
That's what I'm
Children in the World Spice Kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
There's
the
a
one
bunch.
that we're taking is nutrition NTDT 329.
Yeah.
It's
So it's
called
called
culinary
culinary
medicine.
so ours is kind of cool. It's like each week is a different like disease. So right now we're doing like diabetes. So we're making recipes that somebody with diabetes
Should eat
should eat and talking about,
hypertension or like
yeah,
all this stuff.
hyperlipidemia, stuff like that, which is pretty cool too.
Oh, another thing to mention about the prereqs, like if you don't finish a certain prereq, you can do it like
After you
before
apply.
after you
Yeah.
apply. It just has to be before you matriculate into dental school. So like I know someone that's taking physics 2 right now, or like there's in senior year, like any prereq.
Some schools are hard asking about it, like, I don't know, in Stony Brook, like, you need to have taken biochem before you even interview, or else, like, they'll like freak out for something. But it's like only that school, but everything else, it's pretty chill if you just
Yeah.
explain. Like, I
Definitely.
take this senior, they're pretty understanding.
Definitely check your school's prereqs. Just in the case of that, most
It's like one
schools
school. it's
are
high
not
school.
like that. Most schools are like, as long as you have it before, obviously you get to dental school,
Yeah.
you'll be good. But
Especially if you like didn't know a certain class was
Yeah.
required for school, you can just get it in senior year. But it's also like you want to, you don't want to do physics senior
that's what I
year.
was gonna say.
You don't want to do orgo senior year. You really don't. So
You want to have a fun senior year, especially after taking the DAT,
Yeah.
applying. Now all you're doing is waiting around for interviews. Then you get an interview. Then you got to prep for interviews. Then you got to wait to get into dental school. So
it's a fun
Senior-
process.
senior year, I would say try to finish up your prereqs as
Take
soon
a
as you
cooking
can
class.
before that, and take a cooking class.
Just do yourself a favor, take a cooking class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, gap year.
So this is something that I had to do a little bit of research into because I was not planning on taking a gap year. I'm not, but I just wanted to include this just in case anybody is thinking about it.
Because it's very common.
Yeah, all this
It's
information.
more common than not now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So this is the link to the website that I got all this information from because like I said, I really don't know too much about taking a gap year, but yeah, it is really popular. So I did want to cover it and talk about it in case any of you were thinking about taking a gap year. So, a gap year is just a break between, undergrad and when you're going to apply for dental school. It doesn't just have to be a year. It could be 2 years, you never know. Life happens, stuff happens. So depending on your situation, it can be longer than a year. But some reasons to take a gap year is, to strengthen your dental school application. Is your GPA too low and you don't think you'll get in this cycle? Did you mess up on your DAT and you have to retake it? You have to get finances in order because dental school is very expensive. And kind of just refocus after a really busy undergrad. I think that's like a main reason that people do take a gap year to prevent burnout because our majors are tough and our classes that we've had to take are tough and the dental school process is tough. So, some people just want to take a gap year. They want to spend a year traveling, they want to spend a year doing other stuff.
And a lot of schools like to see that you do a gap year too. They like to see that you go do something that you're passionate about, or you work full time at a dentistry, or do something like that. So don't think of a gap year as a bad thing by any means. I know a lot of people that do it and it strengthens their application.
I do want to add like one thing. I was actually talking to a dentist over the summer and he took a gap year and, we were just talking about gap years and stuff like that. And he said like, the one thing to keep in mind though, is if you're going to take a gap year for the sole purpose of, oh, I don't have enough shadowing hours and I need more to strengthen my application. Just also think about how many other people are doing shadowing hours to strengthen their application. Like you kind of do want to find something that's different that will make you stand out because in the grand scheme of things, when you apply, everybody's going to have shadowing hours. And, some people lie, some people make it up. Some people can say, oh, I have 1,000 when they really have 50 shadowing hours. They don't check you on it. So, you work all this time shadowing during your gap year. You're just going to look the same to everybody else. So you kind of want to, if you're going to take a gap year, do an experience that's different, something that's going to make you stand out, something that's going to strengthen your application. I mean, yes, shadowing hours are great, but also do some other stuff too that are really going to make you stand out. So, you want to think about what's the weakest point in your application, whether it's your GPA, your DAT, you don't have enough volunteer hours, you don't have enough shadowing, stuff like that, and figure out ways to strengthen it. Some of the options are post-bac programs. I know Temple has a great post-bac program. Get a job as a dental assistant, master's program, a mission trip. Those are just some examples of some things you can do. But again, like I said, you kind of want to do some other things that are kind of unique so that, when they say, oh, hey, what'd you do during your gap year? You kind of weren't like, oh, I shadowed the whole entire year. You do want to do, I'm sure they would like to hear if you traveled.
You're really against shadow.
Conversation started. I'm not obviously against it. I'm just trying to help people. You want to stand out. But yeah, so you also talk to your advisor, pre-health committees, figure out how your letter of recs are going to get to the dental schools, stuff like that, just things to consider.
So taking a gap year would be applying your senior year of college.
Also a lot less stress throughout undergrad if you take a gap year. It's weird.
You made it, dental school. I just want to make a statement. If you want to be a dentist, no matter how hard this process is, you will get there and you're gonna achieve your dreams. So don't if you get stressed out, which I get stressed out a lot, just remind yourself that think of the big picture and that you're gonna be wherever you want to be, you're gonna make it. So just remember that.
Over the summer, I was reading this book and it was it's called, I forget what it's called. What's it called? Stress. The Upside to Stress. That's what it's called. And it's how to use stress as a good thing rather than treating it as a bad thing. And it kind of talks about, your mindset about stress and how everyone's like, oh, I'm so stressed and how that's a negative. When, in reality, you can turn around and be like, I'm stressed and use it as fuel. And there was this one particular quote that I actually sent to Kayla before she took her DAT. And they use the analogy of climbing Mount Everest and how you're climbing Mount Everest and you get to a certain point and you stop and you're like, why the heck am I doing this? Like, this is hard. I am freezing my butt off. Like, I'm so cold right now. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I can't breathe. And then you continue to go. And then you stop again. You're like, oh, why did I do this? Should I just turn back around? And you second guess everything you did. But then once you get to the top and you see the view and you're like, wow, this is what I did it for. And I think that's a great analogy because there's going to be so many things during this process where you just got to keep going. You got to persevere. You got to keep going. It's going to be hard. It's going to be tough. But, you're going to get to your end goal. So
I remember freshman year literally crying in my dorm room reading dental school's GPA requirements. I was I currently had a B- in my environmental science test that used to be my major. And I was like, what am I doing? I was literally crying, but everything fell into place. And it seems like so much, but literally it all falls into place and you'll get there.
Yes.
Even if you have to take a gap year, even if you don't, you can do it. No matter what.
Yes. Definitely.
So once you make it to dental school, we just wanted to share some statistics with you. So there was almost 11,000 applicants. And what is it, the applicants for each school? What is that? I forget. You
The
did that.
10,000?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 10,000 total student dental, 10,000 people, 10, or actually
Oh, yeah.
11,000 people applied to dental school, 6,317 students enrolled as first year dental students last year, or no, this fall, and then 25,000, almost 26,000 dental students enrolled, which is D1, D2, D3, and D4 years. So 26,000 dental students across country. It's kind of crazy.
That is crazy.
It's crazy.
Half don't get it.
But also look at it, more than half.
But
get in.
more than half, see, it's the
More
numbers
than half get
increasing,
in,
there's a
so
demand.
yeah,
So,
more than half get in. So, and maybe every year dental school class sizes are inching up there. But
yeah.
Okay, next.
This is the cost of dental school.
This is the scariest slide in the whole presentation.
Unfortunately. Yeah. So if you're an out-of-state resident, you're gonna pay a lot of money. That's a lot. That's a big difference. This includes tuition. This includes, I put the approximate cost of dental instruments just to show how expensive dental school instruments are. the instruments alone are $11,000. Like, that is insane to me. But
Question?
Yeah, well, after you finish.
okay, sorry. But yeah, it includes like your instruments, your tuition, school fees, stuff like that in it. But
Your lab coat. I saw this one caption for like this person for their white coat ceremony, and she was like, I literally paid $500 for this coat. For this lab coat. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Dennis was very expensive.
but it's worth it.
And you'll make it back in like 2 years.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of options to help fund it too. There's scholarships, there's loans you can take out,
FAFSA.
the FAFSA.
You
Yeah, so
can
there's
join the military and they'll pay for if you do their years back, 4 years.
Yeah, if anyone has questions about the military program, I'm currently applying for the HPSP scholarship through the Navy. So it's one of those programs where it pays for your 4 years of tuition and it's a 1-to-1 year of service. So for every year of schooling, you have to give 1 year of service back. You could do it with the Army, the Navy, or the Air Force, and they pay for everything. You don't pay a dime for dental school, which is really, really nice.
Question, do you like serve or do you work as a dentist?
You work as a dentist, yeah,
That's
but
great.
you live like on base with
Do
them.
they place
You get to like choose where
The
you
Navy
go.
has cool ones because you're by the water.
Yeah, that's why I went Navy, because you can go to like Hawaii, or you could go anywhere where
Oh.
there's a beach,
Oh my
basically.
God.
Yeah, that's
Um,
pretty cool. Florida.
So there's options.
Yeah.
There's definitely options.
Working as a dentist is cool. I don't know why I thought you like served our country.
They'll put a gun in your hands.
That's great.
Go ahead. What was your question?
I was gonna ask about the military program.
Yeah, no, it's a really great opportunity. It's very, very selective. So you have to start talking to a recruiter. I started talking to him the end of my junior year. I reached out. And that's like the perfect
Especially
time.
The Navy, but the Army isn't as selective.
Yeah, the Army is the biggest one because they have the biggest need for it. And then Navy is the smallest, I think, and then Air Force. But make sure you think about like location, like Air Force and Army have like a kind of different location. They're like Midwestern, like kind of middle of nowhere. But it's definitely easier to get in. So if like you need the money help, that's like the biggest thing. Yeah, so it's definitely like a great thing to look into. You reach out to a recruiter, it's super, super easy. They want everyone to sign up. And then it's like a pretty in-depth process, but the recruiter will walk you through everything.
Another question. So when do you apply? Like during,
Yeah, so you actually can't send in your official application until you have a letter of acceptance from a school. So the earliest is gonna be like mid-December.
December 1st.
Yeah, December 1st, yeah. But you have to do everything else before that. So it's like a very, very long process, but the recruiter is like very on top of it. He'll make sure you have all your letters of rec in. You have to do like a physical with the hospital. So in the meantime, you do all of that. Like I started right before my senior year is when I started talking to him. And then he starts your recruiter will start like your whole application process for you. Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is opening an HPEC file something you do in person, like that you go to Pearson Hall?
So I think, no, there's now a form online and it's right on when you scroll down on that website, the links in this PowerPoint, you can sign up on that form.
Okay, cool, thanks.
You used to go there, but now, COVID ruined every single thing in the world. So this is a map of where the dental schools are in the United States. And
Just
yeah,
pretty cool.
I just saw it, thought I'd include it.
It's cool.
So I was looking at this one. You can see
Oregon?
only the people on
It's
Zoom can see my
Oregon right
mouse,
there.
but like there's like 3 schools right in a row in California. You see that? It's funny.
Yeah. I thought
And
it
then
was
this school
interesting.
is University of Pacific. This is the one that's 3 years.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Roseman's also going.
Really?
They're changing, yeah.
But I think in 20.
University of Pacific.
This is where Pittsburgh is, right there.
Pittsburgh.
It's so
Hey, where the heck is, they're missing one? Because
What do you look?
Temple
Temple's
and Penn
right-
should be right next to it. They're
It's probably
literally
right there. It's probably
Yeah,
right there.
probably.
No, that's not where they are in the state. That's not Pennsylvania, Kayla. Like I live right here, and they're right next to my house. Like they should be right there. Two of those. Anyway, maybe it's a little off. I don't know.
Just a general idea.
Yeah, this is the part that I don't want to stress anyone out about because yeah, it means something, but at the same time, it doesn't mean something. Like, one thing you have to remember is there's a bell curve. You're gonna have people that are gonna have GPAs higher. You're gonna have people get in that have GPAs lower, and you're gonna have people who have GPAs just like these statistics. So
You're gonna have people that have DATs that are 30s.
it's just how it goes. And
But it's
don't
okay.
stress out. You're meant to be where you're meant to be. Everything will work out for a reason.
Your
But-
statistics are perfect as how they are. Just work your best, and that's all that matters.
But these are the statistics for the general average. DAT just gets higher and higher each year. It's actually terrifying.
Yeah, after boot camp, it has shot up. After boot
Yeah,
camp,
we actually,
I
to find these stats,
well,
we got this
you know-
giant Excel spreadsheet that from like, what was it, like the 90s until
Oh.
now showed DAT scores.
the
After
average
they made the program, per se, yeah.
after
Yeah.
they made the program, like it's conditioned people to
It was
learn
like
how
a
to do
solid
it.
16 for like
What?
years,
Damn.
and then it went to like 17, then it shot up to 20.
For
And-
that average, oh my god.
Yeah, and like at some schools, Rutgers, when I went to their program, their average is 22. Like that's so
Wait, that's
high.
Really high.
Their average, except like what?
You don't need a 22 on the DAT to get an also. If
Yeah.
anyone's freaking out about the DAT, because that's probably the worst part of pre-dental, I would say.
It really is.
Like, it's just, it's just a hump you gotta get over, and like when
Yeah.
you're done, it's like the best feeling in the world.
Like actually the best
And
feeling
you
in the
don't
world.
have to like study for like 5 months. Like it's your schedule. Like you can tailor to what works best for you. Like I studied like 1.75 months and just like.
0.75 months.
Sorry, I calculated perfectly.
That's
but,
so funny.
Yeah, so like it was stressful, but, like,
1.75 months.
grinding for a short amount of time worked for me. So like
That's so
whatever works.
weird.
And I also feel like there's like a stigma between like, oh, if you don't do well in the DAT
Yeah.
the first time, don't take it. Like, God forbid you take it a second time. I took the DAT twice. So
And it's something to speak about in interviews. Like your story, like just helps. Like it's a holistic review. Like you'll have so much stuff to like talk about.
Yeah.
Explain why.
yeah, exactly. So just don't stress. Do the best you can.
I do have one more thing to add too. I just remembered it. It's called the Casper Exam, if anyone's heard of it. It's super new, so not a lot of schools are taking it, but I know 2 of the schools I applied to required it. And it's kind of like an ethical exam. It's really weird. They give you like situational questions, and then you're supposed to respond in like a really short amount of time. You have to type really quick, like how you would respond to the situation, stuff like if you caught your friend cheating on an exam, what would you do, or like stuff like that. It's really weird and obscure, but you honestly don't even have to study for it much. Just like read about it a little bit. They give you a practice test when you sign up for it, and like I said, not many schools actually require it. For me, it was Boston University and Temple University require it. So if you apply to those schools, and then there's a couple others. I know it's becoming more common for like medical schools and vet schools, like all stuff like that. It's called the Casper Exam. So it's just another thing to think about, because I didn't even know of it before I started after.
You
Yeah.
told me. About
Yeah.
it.
And like some of them you only have to take it if you interview though. So you don't have to stress about like finding out about that until they notify you.
Also, if you check out our pre-dental Instagram, we have a whole entire post dedicated to what it is and kind of a breakdown of it, if you want to learn more about it.
Just extra shit that
Yeah.
was required for no reason.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a pretty like low stress exam.
Yeah.
It's just one more
It's
thing
not
you have
the
to
dad
do.
at all, so don't worry.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any questions about anything?
I know it was a lot of information,
What
but
year is that? Freshman. Oh, yay. Awesome. No way. Oh my god.
I'm glad we have a mix.
Yeah.
Pretty fun.
But
How do you
seriously,
guys feel after all this? I know it's a lot.
Yeah.
But I promise you what I really like.
I know.
Like it all falls into place. There's time for everything.
Yeah, this is also like everything all at once. Like
Yeah.
you take it day by day, and it's so much more manageable than it like actually seems. Like if you just roll with it and then like make sure you're on top of it. But like I'm a big procrastinator. I'm not on top of my stuff at all. But with this, like you can like do it as you go throughout college, and it's not a big, like it's not that much of a commitment as long as you like keep yourself in check a little bit.
Don't stress about time. Like I switched my major, so like I didn't take like a bio or chem class until like spring of my freshman year. So I took ortho last year, and like I still was able to apply on time. So like there's time. Yeah.
that's how I wanted to preface. Like, it's not meant to stress you out. Nothing's set in stone. Everybody has a different path.
Yes,
And
exactly.
it's gonna seem like a lot, but yeah, you just gotta take it day by day. Like you'll be okay.
What are you
Adea?
guys' major? Nutrition and medical science. Yes, that's what we are. All of you?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm bio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We love that.
Oh my
Oh
god,
my
it's
gosh,
fantastic.
yeah,
If,
so I love it. so
listen,
much.
you need any questions about
Yes.
professors, any notes, anything, we got you.
Okay, thanks. Good.
Yeah,
What
no,
about you,
of
Joe?
course.
I'll buy it.
Cool. Are you applying or
No.
not
I
yet?
I didn't start.
Yeah.
It's honestly so stressful, like going to papers, don't worry.
Do you guys have any questions
Feel free to let them rip. I know it's
on Zoom? Anyone have any questions?
Yeah, where is this recording gonna be posted?
on our YouTube.
And then the link will be sent.
Oh, okay.
And we'll send the link out when we send the recap email. That will probably come out.
Okay, and early in the beginning of the meeting, you guys talked about like becoming a dental assistant. Like, do you need any experience or training or anything for that?
So of my knowledge, some states do require like a license. I know I live in New Jersey and they don't, I think. So I was able to get a job as a dental assistant, but like some states do require, like, I mean, it really just depends on like the office,
What you're doing.
the office and what you're doing. Yeah, like if you're like,
If you're a secretary, probably not.
If you're like cleaning up, setting up and like helping a little bit, you're not gonna be required to be
Yeah,
certified.
but if you're required to take like x-rays, you're gonna need to take the radiology
an
exam.
extra, yeah. And like there's actually, yeah, some like it really just depends on the office and like what they're gonna like let you do
And I think
stuff.
how well you know the dentist.
Yeah.
Like I shadowed my general dentist and like even though I wasn't a dental assistant per se, like I still was assisting while he was doing procedures because I knew him well enough. So it really kind of depends what dentist and where.
I did also, like, I literally, my freshman year, I just emailed like 3 dentists in the 3-mile radius from my house. And it's like, hey, do you need help? And then I got a job. Like, so that's just
Yeah,
something.
I think you just have to like constantly just reach out to like a bunch because you are gonna get a lot of no's, which is kind of sad. I don't
Like,
understand that, but
Yeah, like think about a dentist that says no to it, like a little aspiring dentist, like makes no sense to me.
yeah, but I know with COVID right now, it's really hard still, so.
Does that answer your question about the dental assistant though?
Yeah, it does. I also had another question.
Yes, please.
Someone that was in honors and bio, they had it like you had to take like 2 semesters of English, and that you said that colloquium doesn't count. What was the other English course that you took? Was it like a health related one or?
Harry Potter.
Yeah, I took Harry Potter, which is literally the best class ever. You could take whatever just
Yeah,
counts as
I took,
English.
I think it was English 230. It was called Environmental English or something with Professor Jenkins. Loved that.
I'm-
Loved it.
I'm taking English for like business writing right now, and it's the easiest class I've ever taken in my life. You just write emails basically. It's just teaching you how to write emails.
That's
Um,
also like useful.
It's so easy. It's the easiest class ever, and the professor is so nice. Her name is Amy Cates. Highly recommend her if you need an easy professor. Literally the easiest class I've ever taken. It's so nice.
I
Are
took
any of you guys like bio majors?
I'm a
Alec
bio
is.
major, yeah.
Is there like a requirement for like a higher level like English course or something?
Writing and
Yeah, like the upper level writing course for bio.
Yeah. Would that like would the one that you were talking about, like the business one, does that apply to that, or was that a separate course?
Yeah, I don't think it doesn't have to be a bio class, right?
I think this, but doesn't the second writing course have to be like a specific writing?
Yeah, I don't
bio
remember if
class?
my like experimental lab counted for that credit. It might have for me.
No.
I don't know.
I don't think it does. Like, I don't think it normally does. I think with the bio major, you're required to do a writing class, and I think you have to do that. But if you did that, you wouldn't have to take the one Alec took. Like, it would count, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm a bio major as well. I'm like a cell molecular genetics concentration or whatever, and I don't know if like Alec had the same requirement, but I have a lit based requirement, and I think that does count as the second writing requirement or just a writing
Yeah,
requirement.
I don't think it
generally.
has to be a bio class. Like I think the English class
Yeah,
I'm
it
in
doesn't
counts for
have
the
to,
upper
but
level.
like if you're complete, like like the thing with me is I hate writing, so I'm not gonna go out of my way to take another bio class on top of like 2 lit based classes. So I'm completing something for my major and then not taking anything else. Or you could do what Alec did. So options.
I'm looking at the requirement. It says lit-based biology.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so if that's your major, then you can do that and another English course, or you can just do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that
Up
will
to you.
count as your second writing because you had to take English 110 freshman year. So like your lit based class would count as your second English for dental school.
Second writing and second English, yes?
Yeah.
Does that answer the question?
Yeah. Mhm. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else?
Which schools required the Casper test so far?
So Temple requires it if you get an interview, and then Boston requires it. Boston,
Yeah, BU.
yeah, BU, not Tufts, requires it before you submit your application.
And other schools.
There's more.
There's
too,
more
I
schools
just didn't
too.
apply.
It's called the Casper.
Wait, I'm gonna look it up, hold on.
CASP is capitalized, and then the ER is not.
I can tell you, I'm gonna read you.
Yeah,
the
and if you go
list.
on the website too, it gives you a list of all of them.
Yeah.
And on the Adea Access application page too, it gives you like a little blurb about each school that you like select. And it'll say that in there too. if it's
So-
required.
Casper test, Boston University, Carolina North State, Case Western Reserve
There's
University,
more than that.
Indiana University, Temple University, University of Louisville, University of California, San Francisco, University of Missouri, Kansas City, and University of Utah. So the ones close here are Boston and Temple. But yeah, I did not take the Casper test, so I can't speak about that.
I took the Casper test.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah, it's not something you need
it's
to
not-
worry
As a
about
matter of
right
fact,
now.
I didn't apply to Boston for the sole reason that I
And
got.
Temple.
I
And
just did it
Temple.
because of Temple. I didn't-
And Temple, yeah. Well,
It really wasn't bad. Like it.
It was
really
just a
wasn't.
drag. Like I was just so burnt.
no,
out
it was
from
just like
that,
it was like what's the word?
A hassle.
No, I was like fighting back. I'm like, you don't make me take 2 tests.
I know.
Yeah,
I just
get
took
it.
the DAT.
Temple's interviews are usually so like ethical situation based, but now it's not in person, so I
Yeah.
don't think,
Oh.
that's why they use that. It was so weird.
But yeah.
Anybody else? Any questions? I know it's a lot of information, but you can literally ask anything we talked about.
Yeah, and if a question pops up in your head later, just send it in the group me or email one of us. We're always here.
Where are you guys from?
Upstate New York,
Upstate where?
Albany.
Oh, cool.
Yes, where are you from? So you're from
Long Island. What about you guys?
I'm from here.
Oh, awesome.
Local.
So you guys will probably be applying to a lot of the same schools as us, so like when that time comes around, like feel free to ask questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if we're not here, you can
Mhm.
always reach
Yeah.
out. It's kind of
Alright.
sad. We're like little
I
seniors.
know.
Okay, well,
right, no
thank
other
you so
questions?
much for coming, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We didn't stress you out too much. Just take a
We
deep
just
breath.
wanted to tell you.
Yeah, definitely don't like
Out there.
overthink it. Like
Yeah.
don't stress too much. It's definitely manageable.
There's
100%.
time for it.
Yeah, you guys, you're amazing. You're all gonna be amazing because we just are.
Yeah, so if you guys have any more questions with like schedules or stuff too, to like fulfill your major
Yeah,
requirements.
especially you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We got you.
I'm excited.
Yeah, good. It was the best.
The,
Who do
so
you
the
have
cooking
right
class that
now?
we're taking counts for the major.
Yeah, that's what I thought when you said that. That's so good.
It counts for it.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank
Bye,
you so
guys.
much.
What classes are you in right now?
I did have a question. Would you guys know anyone or like are any of you guys
One of
like,
them.
It's like.
done with like your Asda book or like the other book that you guys were talking about, like
Oh my God, that's
like, buy off of?
Yeah.
The one that what?
The
The other book that-
The Essential Guide to Dental School Admissions,
Yeah.
like that book and the Asda book that you guys were talking about, like are any of you guys like selling that or like are you not using that
All
anymore?
right, take care.
Thank you.
Good luck, guys. See you.
Yeah.
Thank
You
you for
can,
coming.
you can borrow the Asda one from me. I like don't use it.
Yeah.
But like, are you on campus or?
I live nearby, yeah.
Like,
I-
I can let you borrow it for a day or two, or like a couple weeks or something for sure.
Yeah, I would so do that too if my book wasn't in Jersey.
Oh, okay.
I would give you mine, but yeah. Also, like if you go on like the Facebook, I don't know if you would be on the DAT book Facebook, but like they sell them too on that book, those books on that Facebook too.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
They
Okay.
sell everything.
but
Yeah.
yeah.
And is this gonna be posted on like the Pre-Dental Society YouTube? Because I only see 2 videos on there from like 5 months ago.
Yeah, so it's gonna be that one. Because this is the first time we just started recording stuff and doing the hybrid Zoom in person. So yeah.
What
we'll keep
year are you?
posted.
I'm a sophomore.
Okay, perfect. Very
Right,
nice.
on track.
Yes.
Thank you.
So okay, well, do you have any other questions?
No, I'm good.
I appreciate you.
All right.
Okay.
Have a good night.
See ya.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Wait. You have to save the recording.
It will.
It's a-
Say bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye, Pre-Dance.